So this next division, the top 6 is already guaranteed. The Happy Valley. So
it's Division 1 too. So this is a biggie. This is where you go play for the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah. So the top 4 finishers will go in to play for the playoffs for this year's Scarabee. Right. But the top 6 will all automatically go up to the new division. So it's
of course the top division.
The top division has the 6 from this conference already set because they're done. You've got the Belfast Benchwarmers, 242 against the Melbourne Supremacy, 203. The Darlow Destroyers, last year's champions, and last week's co-host. Thank you, Mike, for coming on. 197 to 192 for the Bognor Regis. That was a close one. Kirkwall Cowboys got the bye week, 184 against 118 for the Geo Villains. Allen, 179, put the Scuppers here for the McGonagall and knocked him out the playoffs. So I think it would have done 146. South London Rebels, Tony, 201 against 196. The Crew Juggernauts, that knocked him out, basically. Then the Dickens Heath Demons secured their spot with 162 to 150 point win over the Gothenburg Angels. So, like you see, all green ticks here, the Melbourne Supremacy at 10-3. Probably not actually guaranteed to play bye week yet because the Darlow Destroyers, 9-4, have got 2,800 points against 2006. Kirkwall Cowboys have got 2006 also at 9-4, as does the South London Rebels at 9-4. Then you've got Dickens Heath Demons 8-5, and you've got 7-6, the Belfast Benchwarmers. So any of the 4 teams could end up at the bye week. This makes it fun.
What's Dickens Heath Demons against points for against South London Rebels?
There's 200 points, so they're not catching
up. The top four is effectively set in stone as well. The Melbourne Supremacy would be a wee bit worried about a 2-game losing streak heading into it, but certainly here come the defending champs. You know, Darlow Destroyers are sitting there 3-game win streak, right? You know, at the business end. That's when you say it's the same in real life as well in the NFL. You know, when the business ends. When you get to the business end, that's when the real players show up, you know. And a 3-game win streak for Darlow Destroyers is certainly marching through the field. Same with Kirkwall Cowboys, 3-game win streak. South London Rebels, 2-game win streak. And Dickens Heath Demons,
6-game win streak to get into the playoff. Yeah. That's impressive.
They are marching. They are beyond marching. My worry with a 6-game win streak is you're due a loss. You know, that's it. You're due a loss. That's my worry with a 6-game win streak. And Belfast Benchwarmers as well. So you can see the form figures. The form figures tell a story in this division. And I mean, it's set in stone, really. What can you say? Good luck to the top 4. Good luck to South London Rebels and the rest of the top 4 there that I can't see.
Darlow Destroyers,
Kirkwall Cowboys, and the Melbourne Supremacy. Good luck to all 4 of them representing the conference, and may one of you go on and win it.
I've got a spreadsheet for that too, so we can see that afterwards. But we've got the Crew Juggernauts at 5-8, Bognor Regis at 5-8, Portland Lumberjacks at 5-8, Kirkwall Raiders at 4-9, and Geo Villains at 4-9, and Gothenburg Angels at 3-10. The thing here is that Alan's sitting at 10 spot, 4-9, and he has more points than 8 and 9. So he might still get a bye week if he manages to win this week and they lose, which is very important when it comes to avoiding relegation for this one, because 2 go down. So the winners, the losers of the first playoff, the consolation, will go down. That's right.
Yeah, so it's it's big enough. That's a big enough reason to get a victory for Alan, you know, and that gives him a much better chance of staying up. But of course, that's the same goes for the Bognor Regis Falcons and
the Lumberjacks
and Geo Villains as well. You know, they've got to. Portland Lumberjacks. They've got to win. They've both got to do the same thing to win there, and of course, Crew Juggernauts. They'll need to win as well because Bognor Regis Falcons and Portland Lumberjacks. If they both win and Crew lose, then they'll drop out the bye spot. So
we'll have a look.
I think that's pretty much all it's to play for over here, though. So who do they have is a big question.
So we've got the Belfast Benchwarmers against the Darlow Destroyers. They've got a 43-point start. You've got the Bognor Regis Falcons, who are up against the Portland Lumberjacks. So there's a big one for you. A 20-point start.
That's a big game.
Kirkwall Cowboys are up against the Kirkwall Raiders and the Kirkwall Derby, and it looks like Alan has a good chance to win and beat the Kirkwall Cowboys. The Yeo Villains are up against the South London Rebels at 9-4 against 4-9. Melbourne Supremacy hoping to right the ship. They're playing the team at the bottom. The Gothenburg Angels, who have a 38-point start, but still look like they're going to lose. And the Dickensies Demons, who are flying at the moment, up against the Crew Juggernauts, which could be a bit of a sore one for Wales. So
yeah, the thing about the two juggernauts, I think they're safe actually. Because Bognor Regis Falcons and Portland Lumberjacks play against each other, they both can't win. So Crew Juggernauts are safe in their playoff spot. They are guaranteed a bye in the first round of the playoffs, no matter what they do. Which you'll be delighted about running into Dickensies Demons.
You say that, but they're only 50 points ahead of Allen in the points.
50 points, Johnny. Come on, 1 week, 50 points. That's a lot. But sure, I'll give you there's a slight
if you look at the projections, though, Crew Juggernauts are projected to get 265. Allen's projected to get 201.
So that's no 50 points, and we all know.
Yeah, but it's not far off it. So we'll see how Allen's got on so far. He's got 52 points to start with.
They'll be delighted that those two are playing each other below them, Crew. It gives them a wee bit of that leeway. And if they were to lose 2 points to Allen, fair enough. But it would be, Allen's going to need Justin Jefferson. I've just seen Justin Jefferson there, so he is going to need JJ to start finding him. JJ to JJ has to start happening for Allen. He's got him in there, you know. Yep, and up against Ferguson, so that's the start. Oh, he's got Prescott and one other.
He got Aubrey, 23 points for his kicker.
And Aubrey. I mean, Aubrey's it's when you get 30 odd points from your kicker in the Thursday night, it's 23 points. That's just it's such a big boost to your week, you know, when you get that on a Thursday. I know it because I got it from McPherson last week. You know, it's just like you're like, oh, look at that, my kicker got me over 20 points. Ooh.
If you look at Allen's defender, he's got Miles Garrett who get the stack record this weekend against fucking Cam Ward.
He does. He does.
That could be a 30-pointer game on its own. I think he's already had a couple.
I mean, it's one of those ones where, I mean, but Miles Garrett does.
30,
you know,
30,
he's had a couple of massive games, but in general, he doesn't tend to score. He's a bit like he's the same as his presence for Garrett. It's the same with Micah Parsons. Yeah, some weeks they go off and they have 3-4. You know, they get all the sat and they have loads. But in general, it's just their presence and they're double teamed, and you know that opens up the gap for their teammates to get through and get the quarterback more often than not. You know, it's their presence more than their actual what they do. But then every now and then, as you say, they kick off in one. It's never 15 points. It's either like 6 points or 40 points, you know, and nothing in between.
Well, I think we got it this year. It's either 15 or 30. It's a bit like so. He's been immense this year, and he deserves to get it. And if he gets it before the extra game, they can't blame the extra game for getting it. So
absolutely. But it's disappointing that there's not more chasing, more to be chased for in this being the top division. You know, the top 4 are set in stone type thing. You know, the top 6 are set in stone. So it's all about next week for this one. Really, you've got the stragglers down there fighting for the playoff spots in the consolations, but that's not really anything to write home about, really, is it?
You've got the bye week to play for. Obviously, South London Rebels could get second spot if they win and
they're behind them points as well, though they're not. So all about the playoffs here, but there's it's still a lot to play for. But most of the top teams have got a week off, and they can see when you've got that as well. When it doesn't matter what happens, you're just sitting watching, praying to all that is holy that none of your players get hurt in the week, you know. And there's nothing worse than sitting there with the trepidation of don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. But that's the week 14 life of a fantasy NFL manager.
It's not as like it's a real game where you get to drop your players for the week because they're not going to get hurt.
Exactly.
Like teams do in week 17 and all that stuff. So that's the West Conference.